Good evening, my fellow poker friends. Another Thursday, another grind day. It has been an exhausting day so far in other parts of my life, and that's why I thought about not streaming today, just because there were a lot of things to decide and to think about and to advise. And sometimes you say the brain for decision making is just like a muscle. It has a certain power, and after it's used that power, it should rest. And I was thinking about if it's time to rest or not, but I think I'm not that tired that it's not a good idea to play. I don't think my bankroll is in danger when I do it today. So I keep to my schedule and I try to play in some more hands for June. We're, where are we? Check. We are at 3,372 hands played this month. The graph is slightly negative, but overall I'm happy. And I thought about what the session focus should be, and just gonna type it in the chat. It's going to be playing solid. That's attack style for me. So I want to play tight, not too many hands, but I want to play them aggressively. I want to play without any tilts today. So to achieve that, I have to observe changes in my mental game and in how I feel, both physically and emotionally. I will try to verbalize what I feel. So, it's also a means of work. These videos for me, I cut them often after I stream and search for key moments in hands that you cannot see in a replayer, where all the things around are not there, like timing of certain bets or history between players, something like that. You just don't see it if you analyze a certain hand itself. Next to the mental game things, I will identify and hunt down targets that I identify as good targets, also called fish. And I will do that by steadily table select. While I was talking, I was displaying a simple starting hand strategy from Sky Matsuhashi, where I'm a member of the training site for almost 3 months now, and I have been happy so far. There were a few things I was able to address and work on. And today, playing solid will not mean to stick to this plan that you can see here on the screen in every instance. I will allow myself to deviate from a certain strategy if the circumstances are right. I will try to comment when I play different from the starting hand start. And enough said now, let's jump right into the session. I have to open up some tables and get the action going. We will play on two sides today. First one, as always, is Pokerstars, because there's just the most action going on. And remember, I will play regular tables, no Zoom tables. And that said, I did play IPoker before. Oh, what was that? Why did I just post the blind? That's awful. There's something off in my options. I will have to check that, because I never post a blind when I enter a game. That's just a gross error. It hurts the win rate, and actually I always have the checkbox checked for post blind when I need to. Okay, I do like what I see here on this instance. I have a half stack that limps in, and I will try to isolate him right from the start. Hope that I can play in position, but that's not the case. The button calls my raise, and probably so will the limper here in early position. And if I get 3-bet here, limp 3-bet, I will just fold, because then my hand versus his stack size, it's just not a good stack size, stack to pot ratio. Against 2, I would usually conti-bet here, but I cannot do it because the small stack, he donks in for a min bet of 1 big blind. Usually that's not a good hand, but because I would have to turn my hand into a bluff myself, which just doesn't feel very good on this board. I was calling for odds reasons and to see what he does, and when he follows up with a bigger bet, I will bet that hand through. Where is the Swiss casino site? Yeah, after the 3-bet, I do not have to stay in this hand at all. No need. Oh, I forgot something. Should have hit the session timer. Now, here we go. We're probably 5 minutes delayed. Here the fish on his first glance starts to make quite nice moves. I like that that squeeze move here. Oh, what's going on? It says I can start 2 iPoker clients at once, but the one that says it's open, I can't really find it. So now see that he starts to be really aggressive, almost some kind of wacko play. Don't know what his story is here. Good old task manager helped me shut down that instance of iPoker client that I cannot open anymore. So that sound starts to annoy me. I need another song. I'm mostly scanning for NL10 tables. Look at that, I get a hand to open under the gun, ace, queen offsuit. In early position, let's see if we get the chance to play against the Vitaraka Wako guy. Yeah, he's definitely crazy. This would be a nice spot to tilt, but I will not. You see, versus a 3-bet from the button that plays very solid tag style with 19-19 on 21 hands. I do think he has a reasonable range there, and the wacko here that just 4 bets, 3 bets every hand, he will run into a monster most often here. But look at that, monster is is just a funny name for pocket tens. Usually it's absolutely not a hand to go pre-flop all in a 6 max cash game. For 100 BBs, even not for 50 BBs in most cases. But this one here is probably the exception, because this guy was just tilting around. Okay, while I was talking, that one table just got filled up without me. Steal spot here, I will try to do that, even if Big Blind has aggressive stats here with 17% 3-bet, but 17 hands, just not a sample size to be too passive with a hand like Ace-4 offsuit on the button. Was too late again. That's the pain in table selecting. It's just you just are absorbed with that searching process, and then you can get frustrated if any table you open, someone else is faster than you. Ace-10 is too weak for me. Remember, I opened Ace-Queen. Can we just bring in the standard raise in early position here, which was the position I was in just right now, the position after the blinds. It's all the red hands from pocket 2s to pocket aces, and then on the suited side of the spectrum down to Ace-10 suited. But look at that, Ace-10 offsuit. It's not in the range, so I don't play it. Like, I have a pretty good gut feeling of what I can play and what not. Have to focus on the hand here. This is just an odds call for me. Look, remember, he plays tight, only one hand in 10. And this hand is often dominated by someone that plays such a tight range. So my call is merely just for speculative values, and I would have hit that flop harder than I did, so I don't stick around here. Don't make the error to assume just because someone has a small or half stack, it's a bad player. And probably I remember to watch him when we have 30 or 40 hands in. His stats may change a lot. He folds a lot to steals 100%. This guy too. Remember, I already stole the last hand, so my attempt to steal value is quite high, so someone might play back sooner or later, but let's hope it's later, because 9-10 suited is just not in that range. This board is very uncoordinated. It's probably more in favor of a caller's range than it is in a raiser's range. Still, I hit top pair and my hand is vulnerable to overcards. I cannot let him catch up by just checking, and the Conti bet takes the pot down, which is actually even a better result than when the steal worked pre-flop. Fold to flop, c-bet this guy 100%, that was my last hand. I like players that call too much pre-flop, play out of position, and then have a high fold to flop c-bet. that is, let's say, 65% and higher. But of course, this is no sample size, 24 hands. Time for more tables. I try to remember during that table selection process. That's a no limit 10 table without an obvious target. This is a full stack player, it's just already some money in the pot. I will not stay here. I will play here. Those guys are all deep. Table selecting is a hassle today, and as I talked about wanting to observe my mental state continuously, I have to say that it's kind of annoying. So you have to watch out if I start doing things that are just not reasonable, out of boredom. Look at that, this guy. He did that before when I had the king-jack hand. I remember in the big blind being the only caller because I had to call one big blind to win, what was it, 3? Really not easy to find tables. Do I have the... Yeah, I have the 2-table layout at the moment, as I'm not able to find any good other tables. I will stick to that. When grinding, I'm not streaming. I usually do play more tables, like 4. Here's another table, Pokerstars table. There's already one player. I do have hands on, not so much, only 8 hands, and he plays 13-13, which is a very solid tag style. So we'll not get fancy here. But I cannot rely on these stats. That's the, how do you say, the table average in voluntary put money into the pot percentage. So how many hands do people play and how many hands of the ones they play they open with a pre-flop raise. So big gaps between those values are great. Narrow numbers like this one are bad. So here, if I do not find a specific target, which by the way, this guy here. If I don't find these targets, I should look for better tables, and I will do so. People like him playing 7-7, 1-digit percentage values in BPIP and PFR, those are just nits. People that play so few hands and that don't probably don't use position to their advantage enough. So here, this would be a perfect hand. I'm talking about the left table to 3-bet if this guy would have opened that hand in the cutoff or the button, but he doesn't, and I don't like calling that. So it's just playing out of position and playing solid, which is one of my session focuses. Playing solid also means not playing out of position with speculative hands. Here he steals a lot, actually not stealing, but opening a lot of hands. And my hand is pretty nice hand as a bluff 3-bet here. My values too are okay for playing for that move. But then when he calls my 3-bet, I should think about what I will do here. I will conti-bet just because best part of my range would do that too, like aces, kings. And after he calls here, I will have to slow down. Just because now his range is pretty narrowing down to a value part, and to bluffing off a poker pair like tens with that board, it's just too difficult. So plan didn't work. I do like that I did not give up on flop instantly, but now it's okay to fold. Emotionally, it doesn't change a thing here, because I do not, I'm not basing the emotions on the result, but on the plays, and I think the play was fine. Of course, 3-betting from the blinds should have a value focus and not a bluff focus, but we are on almost 30 hands and I didn't 3-bet one single hand, so okay. Here I get a free play from a player that plays 44 hands and didn't raise a single one of those. I don't know what range he does it with. Problematic is this guy here in the small blind, which plays tight almost always. I will play passively against this guy because he can easily have build up with a poker pair of 8s or some kind of hand that hit a 2-pair or a flush draw. The bet is again very big, and I have another opponent that is very call happy. It's too early to go, or it's too pricey to play to call him down, because I think if he plays with me, I have to calculate the possibility that his ace is better when we both hit the ace, or that he has a hand I cannot beat anymore, like a poker pair that made trips. This board actually is very nice to c-bet. Again, he is the guy that doesn't like to fold versus c-bets. But he has such a big range I could try. Yeah. I will try. Problem is that people I identify as fish, they often can't find the fold button, so you have to be extra careful when bluff c-betting against these guys. That's why, by the way, I chose, when I decided that the frequency to bet is okay and I have to bet, I chose a bet size that was not too low. Because again, these guys have pain threshold too. If they have to fold bet that is big, they actually start to think they really want to do it. King Jack could be a hand to 3-bet in position. However, this is the guy that's the nit, so that would be a pure bluff 3-bet, even though the hand has 2 face cards. And he's just not the right target. Let's see, we get another player 3-betting. Oh, it would have worked. It would have worked. There's no sense in being results oriented. We always have to work with the information that is available. It's the moment now where this player here has 30 hands. We see him playing 30 hands. And he's playing 28-21, which is a rather aggressive style for someone with a half stack. So, hey, I see there's someone from the Poker Forge in it, South Bay Poker Tour. Hey, nice, you're dropping in. I hope you're doing fine. Myself, seems like I'm getting back on track. I had 2 sessions that worked fine. Finally, I can keep up my red line. Even though I have to say, style of play in this session starts to change. I'm getting away from the focus that made me come to a flat red line, which is it's a pot size bet I cannot call profitably. That made my red line go up. I'm playing a little bit more loose and I'm doing more calls pre-flop. Let's hope these calls are not generally bad and the situation makes them more of a good and a bad decision. 3-bet here versus middle position with ace-king offsuit. The guy plays tag, 16 hands, 6-6. The board is very dry and we have a 3-bet pot. So it's a wonderful board. I'm ahead most of the time here. I also am not so much afraid of a flush. Just thinking about not double barreling, just because I could make him bluff with parts of his range that will fold against the second barrel. But I don't like the board that is flush heavy. And now I'm happy there's not a 4th card to the flush on the board. I will, however, now check, just because I think a bet will not merit any calls of worse hands. And let's hope he doesn't spot it or overshove it. Okay, I need to call half a pot size bet against the nit that called 3-bet pre. That was pretty sizable. And then no, fuck off. Sorry for swearing, but that was really bad. I had the time bank running away so fast in the end. I was actually sure to call, and I was not fast enough, so easily. Okay, gone is gone. There was something happening with my emotions, clearly. you could hear it, and I could feel it in my guts. And now c-bet was due to a good board, 1 high, 2 low, a little bit connected. But it's a calling station, so I will take the free card and not hitting that board and out. So that one, yeah, that hurt. Brought me off my calmness a little bit. Table here is a little bit borderline. We'll be back in a sec. Yeah, that was a pretty ugly one. Messed up. And I'm talking too long. Made me swear. Is it how you say swearing, yeah? Yeah, my table's still focused, so when I try typing in the chat, it starts generating notes that I don't want to. But look, nice target, that's why he's marked green. He gets isolated from this guy, which is a 17-10. I will mark him orange just because he's not a standard tag. Here we have another limper, not full stacked, and the tag, the wannabe tag, with too big of a gap between VPIP and PFR, he just calls. So I hope I can make him fold. It doesn't work. Versus 2 on this board, I don't bet because I will not win the pot a lot of the times. I do still have some showdown value. Should I be able to make it cheap? I could call here, but then I play out of position, and a lot of my outs, 3 aces and 3 queens, would be cards that complete flush. It's possible I was still ahead, but I didn't feel like the right spot to act here. Now he's opening to 3 BBs, which is just a little bit wide, so I too am widening, not widening, I'm raising my size. That's something I really do not like. Getting 4-bet here. It's just here I go with the hand because he had a very high 4-bet value before. Unluckily I run into aces and I'm gonna lose that hand, but I'm okay with that. I would not do it versus a standard tag. This guy has wide ranges and it's okay. What am I feeling? It itches here a little bit, realizing that the decision was not optimal, albeit I can make it, I can rationalize it to a decision that's not outright bad, but it still hurts losing pots, even though my bankroll is good enough to keep a loss like this. He falls to 3-bets 100%. So I'm doing that here. My hand is good. It has blocking potential to the aces hands that it could raise with. It can flop a wheel straight that is concealed, you say. And it can make flushes or hit flush draws, so baby aces suited are good hands to bluff 3-bet. I used to call these spots, saying to myself, well, you can play in position as the big blind when the small blind opens to you. Or with a range like this, when I hit the ace, I do not know if he dominates my hand, which will often be the case if my kick is just 4. So I'm more happy choosing the aggressive path with hands like this in situations like this. King high board with queens, not too tragic as he plays 60% of hands. I will counter bet here, calls quick. What does it do that with? I think he does it with a lot of draws. So let's say he has a flush draw, then his equity dropped somewhat, and I can make a big bet here to deny him the odds he needs. Don't know from the experience of other users, other players, if they also act as quick if they hit something like a top pair, or if they then think for a little bit just because they consider raising and they have to think about what they do, and when they hit draw they just want to call as quick as possible to see the next card. Do I open here? No, he's playing too wide, even though he falls to steals 100%. This will be a open raise if I can. Thinking about 3-betting him, but I already have 12% 3-bet here. Let's not overdo it. I still get full ring tables shown in the iPoker lobby. I can hide these, make table selecting a little bit easier. Probably gonna change the jurojin layout to a 3-table layout. Fold, fold. The iPoker software is the one on the right. Nice flop, I hit the top pair. I don't like that he donks into me. Don't know how many times he does that. Donk. Well, not a single time up so far. Now he goes on betting. If he had the flush draw, he just got there. I block one card of the 13 clubs that are in the deck, but it's just no need to go borderline against a play like this. Question I wanted to ask is, can you see enough when yeah, if someone is there, please type if you can still see enough of the tables when the screen real estate is used to display 3 tables next to each other. For me it's easier I can have all the screens that I'm be playing today in one place, but it's probably too small for you to still identify the numbers. Here, I want to make it bigger, and let's really make it bigger, like 6 big blinds, because this guy doesn't find the fold button anywhere. Anyway, I see bet small, see where I'm at. Is that even a reason to justify a bet? To see where I'm at? No, actually not. To bet for value, for protection, to make better hands fold. But here, none of that actually works, and when I check here, I make it even worse. So here I really cannot be happy about the way I play. If so, I should have lead out on the turn, even by a small amount, just to set my own price to draw. What am I playing against here on the right table? I'm playing against someone that is rather loose on a board that hits caller's range pretty okay, so I pot it. This sound, just a little too aggressive. And this sound, just about right for what I need now, emotionally. I'm not calling here one of the mistakes I used to do so many times. You lose so much of your win rate by calling little bets in the big blind. Over the long run, it's killer. I do call here. I do not have the direct odds to hit the set, but I'm hoping on player that I marked green that he will also call, and then I do have the proper odds. That worked, but the board didn't work out well. And when this guy just pots it here, there's no need for me to stick around. But we have to make a mental note here. He's so aggressive. He's not the typical fish. He's probably rather the passive fish. He's rather the aggressive fish that likes to raise and donk boards, even when he was not the pre-flop aggressor. So graph will not look very fine. This is the month graph, and yesterday, not today. Yeah, I'm down one stack. Is that correct? Showdown wise, I'm pretty flat, but non-showdown wise, I'm down 4.5 euros, which is just one stack. No biggie. The thing I don't understand is just how can that graph be accurate when I lost that one buy-in with a showdown. It comes out of nowhere here. That line. Blue line. What am I playing against? Undefinable. On a board like this, I will usually c-bet 2/3, something like that, 3/4, just because there are a lot of drawing hands, flush draws, draws to the wheel, a single 4, and I will continue betting rather high. And now when the river bricks, I have to decide if betting out is better than checking and hoping that he bluffs. But as he seems passive, I will make a small bet on the river and hope he doesn't raise me up here. No! I have a kicker problem. He dominates my hand because he has ace queen and I have ace jack. Unfortunate. Another ace-king hand in early position. In hearts suited this time. Fish doesn't call, Jagger fish, nobody calls. How am I feeling? I do think about at least 2 decisions that were questionable, and I shouldn't, because when I play, it's all the moment and that's important. The past is the past, nobody can change it, as always in life. Here I will c-bet or donk bet, even though I only have a pair of 3s, but the queen, when he checked twice, could be a scare card for him. Now when he's passive guy, as he seems, he can also do it with the queen, so no need in betting any farther. He had an open-ender on the turn, so pretty good. I chose to bet and didn't give him a free card when I had the best hand. An aggressive guy to my left here. Yeah, I have the pocket 6s. Should I bet out here? I am the pre-flop aggressor. I do think so that betting is not the worst thing to do. Let's make it half pot. The board is pretty dry and doesn't need a high bet to scare off good hands. And we achieve the target I was hoping for by not risking a bigger bet, which is always okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Look at that replay. Where is the... Oh. I will isolate here. He has only played 14 hands. It was the guy that just called with an open-ender here. I will c-bet, and I will c-bet a reasonable amount here on this dangerous board. I don't want to give him an easy decision if he has something like a king of spades or almost not flush draw. And here is the second queen. Do I second barrel here? I think it's not a good idea. Unfortunately, we have another overcard here, which will make it difficult if he bets. And he pots it. What is he doing this with? Could be queens. Could be a third queen, yes. Could be a missed flush draw. Could be... I'm not sure if we would do it with the king. I'm tending to fold, and I will play it safe here. Then again, I like this kind of board. Will he start betting when I check? Of course he won't. I will need to overbet now. And I will continue overbetting here with my 10. Full house. He did smell what was in the oven. Oh, thank you. There was feedback to the question about the tables. Thank you, South Bay Poker Tour. I'm glad, so I can at least play 3 tables. Pokerstars has a limit of 4. Don't know if this is just to my own legislation, or if this is globally a global limit. But as I'm playing iPoker next to it, I should even be able to play more than 4 tables. But of course, when I stream and comment, absolutely no sense in doing that. (29-24) player. I do not have any stats about folding to 3 bets. Opens up here, he steals 67%. So I will have to watch out for this guy and fight back somehow when in the blinds, or when in a late position against him. Opening up in middle position, something like that. I do not steal here, just because the guy folds so few hands. See, I still time out now and then. 3-bet 14, 3-bet 8. The blinds are aggressive. I don't open Queen 10 suited. I will probably, depending on the situation, open Queen 10 suited, even in the cutoff. First 2 positions, I stick to 3 BB raise size. Fish calls me here. It's 72-25, his stats right now. And I conti bet high here. He calls me, and do I continue firing? I think so. He calls quick again. Now I have a 2 pair. I do have to value bet here. I have to assume I'm still having the best hand, and I do not need the 6s. So yes, it worked. He mocked his hand. He had Queen Jack, so he too hit the 2 pair. But it's just not a good line of him calling 3 streets when the board is paired. So any ace will offset his hand. Didn't improve a bit actually against the reasonable range of someone here. No, I don't go with the 3rd pair here, even against min bets. Here, someone I haven't marked. It's his, I don't know if it's his first hand, but he's full stack, which I like. How am I feeling? I will ask this question a lot during this session. a little bit tired. Not terribly tired. Just the kind of tired you are after a usual working day. Folds to steal 100%, folds to steal 17%. No, it's not steal with 10-8 offsuit then. Look at him. The tag here, 18-11. Just color-coded a potential fish here after 24 hands on the IPoker table. His position is not optimal relative to mine. I do have to mark another player. It's so gross, I have to move around my overlay to color code on IPoker. Poker deuces. Of course, my buddy Blackbutt 103 is in the hand. I get 3-way and hit trips as the pre-flop aggressor. 2/3 pot Conti bet. My friend is in, probably because he draws to somewhat. Could be the wow, could be. I was just saying it could be the flush, and I saw a red card coming, already thinking I'm beat, but it's not that. It's quads for me. I will keep it low. I want these guys in. Someone has hit big, I'm pretty sure. Now we have a pot of 54 big blinds. Yeah, I will do a crazy thing and shove here. Probably someone folds, but they should have connected somewhat and they will not be able to fold a flush here. They could even have a full house. Damn it, I was wrong here. The overbet was too strong, so I finally end up taking down a pot of only 54 big blinds. Third bet was my own money, so 54 minus 17, something like that. 17, 18. Just too few for a hand for a situation like this. So probably should have made it less than a shove on the river. Probably failed to build the pot bigger before. Hey Russell, thank you. Good luck, brother, he writes in the chat. Yeah, actually I don't need luck, I just need solid decisions, and a few of that were not optimal there. I'm down just a little bit more than a stack. The stack that I lost was a pre-flop all-in with queens versus aces against a player that was playing out of line a little bit. So he had a high 4-bet percentage of 5% or something in what was like 50 hands. So I shoved over his 4-bet with my queens and got called by aces. I got the feedback that it's still okay to see 3 tables at once. Session time is just a little shy of an hour. Let's see, 7-8 suited. I would be happy to, or I would think about bluff 3-betting this in position, just because when called, it's still pretty playable. I can make it 9 and not 11, 12, which I do out of position. And this guy, he opens enough 21-17 to make it okay. Probably have to say that he didn't fold enough hands versus a 3-bet. And now I end up playing against my friend that likes to call any 2. Against a normal player, I would, after 2 checks, bet, and I would bet about 2/3, so it's not an easy call. But against this guy, he will just call down anything. And now we have another situation where I'm just not happy to shove it or something like that. He did fold against the shove, however. No, the board is just so dangerous when he called 3-bet. He will have connected with flop somewhat, and he can call second pair, so I'll have to give up here. Oh, did you see that? He had 5-10 suited. 5-10 suited. So what can I say? It's nice to have him on the table. I played the hand not optimally. It's just no need to bluff a guy like this. So this time I will just not conti bet when I don't hit and take my pair to showdown if I can. A 1 big blind bet into almost 6. I will have to win that 1 in 7 times to make it okay. And yep, it was mathematically correct, I think, and it was correct results right. You just never know. Oh no, he's short stacked and he just won an all-in hand before, 2 hands before. I will not isolate this guy with 8-9 suit. The other one gets an immediate call. I still see people calling way too much. How am I feeling? Same as before, probably a little stronger after losing that hand versus 5-10 suited, not looking too good. This is, I don't know if this is a kind of tilt. If you feel embarrassed, it can probably lead to some form of tilt. I have to watch out for this. What is my opponent? It's the I call it all guy. I have a board that hits his range. What is his range? 75%. But I will not conti bet here, and I will play passively. And when he still makes bets like 1 big blind, I will go with the hand. Just because he does it again. He doesn't learn there. And I get another chance to train my poker pair plays against calling stations. I will just raise it small, so if I hit, I have him in a way that he sticks to the pot, and I don't have to build it from only like 3 BBs or something. Now my hand just got a lot better. I think I would only need to be afraid of a jack or a 4. So I bet against him and take down another small ball. Small ball poker. And a very special opponent. A very special opponent from the United Kingdom. What are my stats doing? 14, 13, can't even read it myself, so very taggish here, almost too few hands that I play on this table here. But also on this table I do have a player that I like. Where is the lag / maniac color? I changed him from green, which is more for a passive fish, to cannot remember what this color is called, but yeah, you see this color for lags and maniac players, which is probably okay for a 36-32 player with 25% 3-bet. 23 hands though. But here, someone with 44 hands playing 19-19, surely enough to marking as a tag. I have been playing for 1 hour, says my session timer. So I'll make a short break, 5 minutes or something, just to get my blood flowing in the body again, and come back for another half an hour or something in 5 minutes. Okay, here we go again. Back from the short break. We'll be going back to the tables. The two Pokerstars tables on the left side here are okay, stats wise. This one here probably could, yeah, it could change. And so I will start looking for better tables right now. How does the iPoker lobby look like? I will sit out next blind here on the left table, just because the table is breaking down, as it seems. Don't know if I want to play against these players. This one here is just very aggressive. And so is this one. Until then, we could steal another blind. Yeah, something I have to mention. Hey Alex, I see you're here. Very glad you dropped in. Not a very good session today. Not a terrible one either, but room to improve, I'd say. But I wanted to mention that I was in search of a multitabling software for a long time now. There's Table Ninja 2 or 3, whatever version. I played with that before my break. I had a almost 10-year-long break of playing poker. When I was at university, I played mass multitabling SNGs until, what was it, $22 SNGs. Had something like a 5% ROE on the levels below 22. And I was using Sharpscope back in the day to color code my opponents that play SNGs. But I was also using Table Ninja as a multitabling software, and my gamepad actually. I had the key bindings on my gamepad. A setup I have still today, but it's not functional yet. I hope it will be sometimes, because I did like playing with the gamepad. My old PlayStation 3 gamepad, it even vibrated when it was my turn to act. If some of you still remember the PlayStation 3 days. Red Army 24 plays 26-21, folds, 3-bet, we cannot say, no data, so no bluff 3-bet. Queen 10 would be a bluff 3-bet, it's clear, and not the optimal hand to do so, because when called and hitting, be it the 10, be it the queen, will often be dominated. Here we see under the gun opening 25-25 and 27-20, 26, was it guy 3-betting him. Here, good spot for a bluff 3-bet. Ace 2 can flop good, but the guy just doesn't fold and is unknown with 17 hands only. So I will not push it here all too hard. So yeah, the software that works for me with multi-table management is jurojin Poker. I will type it in the chat because it helped me a lot. Probably it does too for some guys of you. jurojin. Ah. I can just show you. Jurojin. Here I'm 3-betting and here I'm opening. Dangerous with this player, but it works fine. And he's a 16-13 tag that will not like to play out of position. I can pretty much sure if I get 4-bet here, it will be a prime starting hand of, let's say, top 2-3%. So aces, kings, probably queens only, not even queens, ace, king suited, and ace, king. And it's very easy to play against that range with a hand like the one I used. Yeah, another one dropping in. Hello, Nick. Oh, it's nice. It's almost a family already. I'm sure some people have already left the game. It doesn't matter. I'm happy if you drop by. I like it. Session time is a little bit more than an hour and 10 minutes. I had a break of 5 minutes just after an hour to get my blood flowing again. See this? I color coded this player green and starts limping into me from a small blind first in. Very nice. Good to having on my right, even though this hand here is not going to lead anywhere. Yeah. We see here left table bad values, I have to say. No specific targets. Probably this guy we can stay another round because he is to my immediate right, and he plays 63-27, which is not a balanced strategy. It's just too many hands and he plays them too aggressively. 19-17, these values change hell of a lot fast. Any players to color code? Here this guy 46 hands, he plays 14-11, solid tag. I should start, no, I will not do it in the Poker Tracker 4 hot, because then I will not recognize these players in the lobby. Only when I color code inside the poker software I will be able to do that. Look at this guy! Broker Fair 161. That's me, by the way. Just not playing aggressive enough. No 3-bet. 13-13. I don't like the sizing I chose here. It's my regular sizing to open from early position and middle position. To isolate, I should have made it bigger. At least we're only two-way and I hit a top pair. Jurojin also provides these shortcuts for betting that you can see whenever I get the chance to play. This guy played 12 hands and it's his first hand. This guy here, it's his second hand, cannot say anything. But with pocket twos and half pot size donk from the nit, we can say goodbye very easily. Probably gonna post the session focus once again. Have to get that from my Twitter handle. 5 is a fold. The plan for this session was and is playing solid tag play. I would say check. What are the overall values? You will not be able to read that in the bottom right. It's just too small, but I play 15-14. That's actually quite okay, but too much on the pass on the nitty side, I'd say. 2-bet and fold. Only 50%, or yeah, I should have that value higher, I guess. Call pre-flat, flop 2-bet, so an open raise, I call that 3.5%, that's okay. I don't want this number to go a lot higher because that is one of my leaks, calling 2-bets and 3-bets, yes, also, but I'm better in that department. I only have a 3-bet success of 33%, which is too low. I don't think it's a sizing problem, at least in most situations I played. It's more a bad situation that I didn't recognize as a bad situation, and I didn't expect for a player like this one that just likes to call anything. He just lost 150 big blinds, by the way. He was there with over 200 big blinds 20 minutes ago. So unlucky I didn't take that money from him. I should have, because I'm hunting for his stack. But all in all, I lost. I think I'm down against this player just because you can't make him fold. I won a few slow ball, no small ball pots against him, just because he has a tell to min bet weak hands. No kicker like Jack 5 on a board that doesn't have a Jack, doesn't have 5. And I can easily calm down against him in this situation. Call pre-flop 3-bet 6.2%. Attempt to steal. That's only 20%. That's way too low. I should be more active in late position, definitely. Let's see how my PFR is position dependent. Here I will just call. We have a multi-way pot. The board is very, very connected. See him, he only has 5 BBs left, so if he will push here, I probably will have to call. If this guy does, even more so. Yeah. Calling 5 to win 25, it's a no-brainer with a hand that has overcard outs and outs to the straight, but yeah, he had a middle pair on the flop. Here we have a possibility to steal. A 22-11 guy sits in the big blind, steal goes through. Very good. My one-hat showdown is at 66%. So I didn't make a lot of bad call downs on the river. My went to showdown, on the other hand, is only 29%, so I'm probably what does that say? I'm leaving hands earlier than showdown a little bit too much. Let's say it like that. In the big blind, in the middle table sits a 27-15 guy with 110 hands and 15% 3-bet. I will not play against him. Aces. And I'm only facing the small blind. which is full stack. Let's build the pot, my small blind friend. He might fold as this is his prime steal position, but I just don't like playing it slow. It's also good for metagame reasons. If people stop doing that, I usually raise 3 BBs in the small blind if I open against the big blind that is the only one left to act. But here I do not have the direct odds to call for set value. I would have play out of position, and if I don't hit the set, the hand is not playable, so no biggie. Steal possibility, question mark. He folds 67%, he folds 20%, no, 33%. I wouldn't have opened that anyway. I get a walk, pocket fives. Probably scan the lobby once more. There's better tables to be found. Stealing opportunity with Queen 4, question mark. It would be an isolating possibility now. But this guy folds to flop c-bets only 50%. And I don't want to play multi-street bluffs against the calling station, so here I do steal, even though these blinds are just not the ones I would like to steal against. They're aggressive, they 3-bet, but the steal goes through. Here I just depended on the card values, or decided upon the card values, so that was okay. Gonna sit out on the middle table, just because it's not really a table I want to play. See, there's a lot of 3-bet, open raising 3-bet action going on, and as this session today is about keeping calm, playing solid, these are just not the circumstances I want to be in too much, because it automatically leads to borderline decisions. It creates situations with high variance and can make me tilt, plain simple. There's just better tables, even more so when this guy just sit out that I marked a fish and my prime target, and position is not optimal. Remember, money flows from left to right around the poker table, just because position is such an important factor. And that's why I always spot for the tables to my right, for the players to my right, sorry. Here we have a tag in early position, raising a tight range, 11-0. So probably the perfect spot. We just call with pocket threes on the button. Let's hope blinds do not cross my plans. Would have been a perfect flop against the tag if I had pocket fours and just turned the set, because the tag will hit the board good. He will, if it doesn't hit, use it to bluff c-bet, and he will have to protect. So yeah, would have been perfect to flop the set here, but it's just not the case. But another rather tight player, 13-0, stays in the hand with him and calls him down to the river. The flush didn't make it, he checks. He often has a flush draw himself. Yeah, he had a flush. No, he couldn't make the flush, but he had the gut shot. Interestingly, he called that for 2 streets with pretty reasonable sizing. Are you actually not really that solid player that I was thinking of when I first saw your stats? 10 Jack probably isn't in an opening range. Let's check that back for people that like to see the background that I refer to. We are middle position, so cut off. I think Sky refers middle position to the red cards, so 10-9 suited is an open raise and Jack 10 suited also is an open range. And if it is in early position, it's automatically included in the later positions as well, like cutoff and button. So it was even theoretically correct to open that hand. I just opened it from gut feeling that it's okay. I'll fold here. And here a tag opens from the cutoff. I will make it 12 is probably a little too high if he opens with 2.5. But I already talked about my rather low 3-bet success, and I have to watch out that my 3-bets don't only come from small blind and big blind, more so from cutoff and button. And if I do it out of position, I have to compensate for the positional disadvantage that I will have to face later in the hand. So I make it bigger, and that will lead to a higher success rate too. I will not play here. He's 60-40, only 5 hands, but I have button pair. What am I expecting for the next hand, for the next card on turn? Also, that one big blind bluff was not like a 10th of the pot. It was a half pot size bet, so finding the fold. How am I feeling? I will ask the question to myself once again. Of course, when I wasn't at my best awake state when the session began, after 1.5 hours with just a short break, that didn't really improve. I still feel that I'm thinking about my decisions, and I can also act on my decisions. Here I do not 3-bet just because the hand value is okay to play it for set value against this guy, but it would turn the hand into a bluff. Of course, the guy with 29% 3-bet, you might not be able to read that on the HUD. He crosses my plans and makes a nice isolation move here, squeezing move, sorry. And he got me just right, because I did call only because I couldn't stand more aggression, and he smelled it. Yeah. If someone is here that hasn't yet subscribed, please do so. Would be nice if we can crack the 70 subscriber mark with that live stream. I think I'm on 67. Only have to read my overlay to find it out. So 3 more subscribers would be really nice. But other than that, I have absolutely nothing to complain. Depending the audience, great you guys come by. Not really happy about the action in this session. It's just going on all the month. Another guy to color code here, 2421. I'll mark him as red. Red color means ignore whenever, avoid whenever possible. I like my own stats here, 24-21 with 8% rebet. I do not like my stats at all on the table here. The right 12-12. Just too fucking nitty. $20-10, I marked him green already. 21-19, I will have to mark him here. One player has gone, 28-23. If I still can, I will mark him red. This guy here is not full stacked and he plays 55-27. That's enough for me to mark him green. Also, this guy limps and has 58, now 62% VPIP. Is he aggressive here? Yes, he is. Can he fold? 3 bets? No, not yet. Still gonna do it, because if called, my hand has a pretty nice equity against his calling range. Thing that is not so good is that his open comes from middle position. Yeah. The story he tells me here is, boy, I have a prime starting hand and I can 3-bet you that you are playing aggressive yourself. You got me there. I open raise Jack 10 in the middle table. I get called by the fish that plays 60% of hands, and this fish starts to dunk into me with 1 big blind min bets. Ooh, dangerous card. I make 2 pair, but if he just draw to a flush, he got there. If he draw to a straight, he might also get there. Whew. I was dominated. I had Jack 10, he had Queen 10, so my 10 was dominated that I called with. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I hit 2 pair on the river. But I smelled that it's a borderline spot, so I didn't raise him on the river. Usually when fish min bet with a draw, they start betting really big if they hit. Hit in their sense, so it could be that they hit any flush, doesn't have to be the nut flush or very good flush. An open raise left table. He folds to c-bets 0%, so one reason I don't c-bet. And the tag here is the second reason. I'm just not playing heads up pot. So I get a lot more tighter when I'm not against one opponent on. The chance of someone hitting just doubles, and it's actually really dangerous. So if I'm playing against calling stations and get called too much, the only solution in my point of view is just to make bigger raise sizes. Would like to choose the aggressive side here with King Queen. Stats are not saying anything. Oh, luckily I take it down pre because my raise size was too small. So that's probably something for cooldown. Bad things. Raise sizes. And I'm talking about the raise sizes when I'm playing out of my gut. Mm, 0% 3-bet from the big blind, 0% 3-bet from the small blind. Also, both have very high fold to steal values, 100% and 75%, so we can easily do that. As I'm a nit here on the left table, I open up. He folds to c-bet 60%. So we can try on this ace-high board with connecting middle cards. I just hit a flush draw, not a nut flush draw at all, but also an open-ender. So equity-wise, it's a second barrel. A lot of outs for me. But what happens now is just the one thing I did not want to see. What does he raise it with? He's 23-12, so not really clear fish, not at all. Solid 3-bet value. He probably has a lot of good hands in this spot. He might even have played A7, something like that. It could be a poker pair that improved to set. No. I do not have the direct odds, and I'm not even drawing to the nut flush draw, so I'll give up there. And with that hand, I ask for the last time, how am I feeling? And the answer is a little bit stressed about small errors in bet sizing. Somewhat a little bit embarrassed, probably because this is all live and you can see my errors too, so I don't really look too good here, and so I will start shutting down tables pretty soon and end the session. Here he doesn't fold to c-bets and the board is just in favor of the caller, so I take a free card. I'm gonna bet here just to see if my king can be good. I block flush draws with my jack of hearts. and those are enough reasons to make that a success. But again, it's small pots that I win, and not a big one. I did win today with 3-4 all-ins and stuff. Okay, gonna leave all tables next big blind, and here too sit out next big blind. This will go one more orbit here. Ah, it's so beautiful. That's a pattern. Whenever I say I'm gonna end the session, there are good hands. That's a 3-bet here. This Jack's hand against the 25-16 player. We do see a flop. It has an overcard in it. Ace-King just got through without action. What would I do this with Ace-Queen? Probably like 2/3 pot, even though it's a 3-bet pot. Yes. Okay, that went fine. Yeah, it's time to quit. Tables will break down. I will do just a short cooldown session, like 3 minutes after the tables are gone. I did track my mental game changes. However, consequent thing to do when there were signs that it's not optimal would be to quit the session, and that's what I'm doing now. Probably could have done earlier, and yeah, table selecting was fine. I did. No, it wasn't really fine. I almost stayed at most tables for a longer time. Could have been more active in this department, and that's why. Where was it gone? That's why I didn't chase and hunt down my targets as I was planning. Active enough. So all in all, measured by playing, it was surely not an A-game session. Probably was something between, I was in the middle of my B-game, let's say. Some parts drifted away to the C-game, where I got involved in pots against opponents I shouldn't have. Probably tried bluffing against guys that do not fold, or on the other hand, targets for value bet I didn't extract enough from. What else? The stats are, yeah, in the stats I can see some errors I was just talking about. So all in all, I'm not all too happy with how the session went. I probably would have played better if I just stopped earlier. What was the end result? I'm down just $6, so one stack. I did play 300 hands. We are now, this month at 3,600. Okay, this is it. Thank you for watching. I hope there's more action in the next session, but you were great. You were interacting in the chat. You were visiting. I hope it was still enjoyable and you did learn something or find something to discuss in the Poker Porch forum for the guys that I meet there. See you the next time, probably next Thursday. Bye bye.